Hi, Glenn Phillips here with Lake Homes Realty and lakehomes.com. Today I want to talk about something I think is on a lot of people's mind. Is it a good time to buy or sell a lake home in 2024? So, let's think of it this way. Is it a hot market for buyer, hot market for sellers? Well, let's start with what hot means. I see a lot of headlines in the national media that mess this up for all of real estate. Does hot mean there's a lot of properties being sold? Or does hot mean there's such high demand that everything that's been sold is gone and there are no transactions because there's not enough deal flow? Those are two different types of hot. Media kind of overplays them. What are we dealing with in the lake real estate market? Well, it can vary a little bit from state to state and lake to lake. But as a group, what we're seeing is hot demand. Buyers are still very interested, but not hot transaction flow. But it's increasing. So this is kind of good and bad for buyers and sellers, and I'll explain a little bit more as we go on, but let me tell you a little bit more about what this hotness and demand level means. Is that one of the things we're seeing that is a good sign, because we had historic low inventories for lake real estate for sales, that we're seeing an increase in homes for sale across the country on lakehomes.com and other sites. There's tens of thousands of properties for sale. But there's a problem with some of this, and that is there is phantom inventory, the phrase I call it. What do I mean by phantom inventory? These are properties that the seller has decided to overprice. At the very same time, the buyer recognizes them like that. And so these properties, they go into the inventory in the MLSs and websites like lakehomes.com, and they sit. And so the number of properties for sale increases, and everybody goes, oh look, the economy's picked up. We have so much more properties for sale. But the reality is there's such demand by buyers right now that if a home is priced appropriately, it sells really quickly. And so it hits the market and then it's gone. It hits the market and it's gone. Those properties move through. The increase in inventory is better than no inventory, but those properties aren't moving. So this makes a bit of confusion with headlines of what's happening in the market. But does this mean it's a good time to buy or sell lake home? It's actually a fairly balanced time for the buyers and sellers who are very realistic. That they're not trying to get the COVID frenzy pricing if you're a seller, or you're not trying to get a deal because there's no crash coming that there was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. But what we're seeing now is that it's fairly practical with prices a little elevated, and they're going to hold that way for a while. So I want to finish, is it a good time to buy or sell? If you are a seller, it is a good time to sell if you don't overprice the property for current market conditions. And a lake expert agent, we have a lot of them, but there are plenty around the country, who understands lake real estate, can help you price appropriately. History tells us that the homes that are priced appropriately and are on the market for a short but not indefinite period of time get more money net than they do if they start overpriced and chop, 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 chop over time. They also don't have all those expenses. So it's a good time to sell if you can be practical and realistic about what you're getting and not make up some dream number and sit in phantom inventory. And it's a good time to buy right now if you're patient and diligent. There's still not a lot of sellable property, and it goes quick if it's appropriately priced. So if you're looking to buy an appropriately priced product at the lake, it's happening. But you have to pay a lot of attention. You can't just check in every 2 months and see what's happening. Work with an agent that's a lake expert in the lakes you're interested in, whether in one market or across the country, and let them know, stay in touch, be diligent, so when the property you're looking for at an appropriate price becomes available, you're ready to move and make a decision. Is it the one you're looking for? Because they are starting to move from historic lows that we saw post-COVID. So is it a good time to buy or sell lake home? If you're practical, realistic, it's a very good time. It's very balanced. Neither side can take over advantage of the other or be disadvantaged. Hope this has been helpful. Be sure and visit us at lakehomes.com. We actually have tens of thousands of properties at thousands of lakes across the country for sale right now. You also can find any of our agents across the country who are lake experts who can help you navigate the nuances of the market right now, and do so especially with what's happening in their local market, which is different from lake to lake. I hope this information has been helpful. Thank you and have a great day. For more information, be sure to check out lakehomes.com.